Yep.
Here you go.
How did that happen?
I don't know.
Was it outside or something?
I don't think so. I don't know what that means.
What's that?
I couldn't see what it said. It was not showing.
Oh,
The
I
rest of
see.
it.
You ready?
Yeah. All right. So,
You know what you're doing?
no, it's been so long since we've done this. Okay. All right. I think everything's okay though. Okay. So there's more people on here. We just can't see who they are. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. So, I'm Michelle.
Yeah.
And who are you? Because people don't know.
Michelle and Adam.
And our channel is Farm Life Outfitters. And it's been a long time since we did a live. We used to do lives every single Saturday night.
Yeah.
And we have not done one in a long time. So
it's hard to stay on a schedule. Like we try really hard to schedule stuff, and life just happens.
Yeah.
And things change.
Yeah. So we just wanted to get on here tonight to talk to you guys about how Adam has been home for a whole year now. And we've gotten so many questions, and like because of the world, I think, and people are just kind of rethinking how they're doing life, especially. And so I don't feel like I don't know, maybe we do. I was going to say I don't feel like I have a lot of wisdom to share, but maybe we do. Anyway, so I thought we would just get on here and just talk about how we are able to do this and what it's been like to be full-time homesteaders for a whole year now. So I'm going to try to see your questions. Maybe that's the right thing to do. Yes, that's the right thing to do. Okay, so I can see your questions now.
That's weird, isn't it?
Yeah. And y'all just let us know if you can't hear us or see us or anything like that. But you just put your questions or comments or anything you want to say into the chat so we can respond to you in real time. But so what's the first question? How do you think
it's hard to believe it's been a year.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
How do you think the past year has gone? Has it, well, first, I think this is interesting because I was thinking of how I would answer this a while ago. Has it gone the way you thought it would?
I would say, yeah. I mean, one, I didn't really know what to expect. You know, there's lots of fear when you're doing something like this.
Yeah.
You know, and that brings up all the questions and, you know, all the questions that we had and I had before we made this decision, and then also questions that we've gotten. You know, it just boils down to fear.
Yeah.
Usually. And so there was so much unknown, and I think there still is so much unknown.
Mm-hmm.
So for one, I didn't know what to expect exactly, but looking back, I think it's gone like I would have hoped it had. I mean, It's nice. It's nice to be at home all the time.
I don't feel like you are home all the time.
Yeah, I am going a lot.
Yeah.
There's things that I go do, you know, just side jobs or helping people or whatever. So, but I'm not tied to like every day doing the same thing. So that's nice. That part of it is really nice. So.
Hey, Jason. And Lorraine, I think, is there too. Thank y'all for being here and moderating for us. I moved the Wi-Fi, our little hotspot. I moved it, so maybe it won't be quite so pixelated now. I don't know. It seems to do better in the window. Okay.
I guess, I mean, I'm trying to learn not to have like high expectations for schedule and just the future.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's one thing that I've learned,
Mm-hmm.
or one thing that I'm working on, is that because it's unknown.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the future's unknown.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to plan. I mean, we're such planners. We're always going to plan. But I'm trying to not expect to happen what we've planned.
Yeah.
Because it might not. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's going like I expected.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't see it. I wouldn't have seen it going any other way.
Okay.
I mean, one thing that's been nice too is just having time to network with people that are doing similar things.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
At my job, I felt stuck in something that I didn't really enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
And there's networking and there's business building and there's all that in something that I didn't really enjoy. So,
Yeah, I remember when you were working and you were just kind of like, what's the point?
Yeah, especially
like
the last year.
I don't plan to work my way up the corporate ladder.
Yeah.
I just I'm not enjoying this. And thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
That's sweet. Yeah. So just, if you don't, it's like that with anything though. I think if you are kind of in a situation where you're kind of expected to do something, but your heart's just not in it, like it's almost like it makes it even worse to be there. Mm-hmm. Like if people are expecting something of you, as far as that job, like performing at that job, and it's just kind of like you're always fighting that,
mm-hmm.
or you're like, I wish I wanted to be here. I wish I could concentrate on that. And
right. And there were days where I enjoyed it,
mm-hmm.
but overall I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy it, and it had a huge effect on our life, our family life and stuff. So it's been worth it for sure.
Yeah.
We're not making near the money that I was making, and mm-hmm. there's not that comfort of knowing we have a salary and mm-hmm. we're going to be taken care of, but it's been worth it for sure.
So I was thinking earlier about how I would answer that question if it's gone the way I thought it would. And like, I don't think it has, like, not, I mean, it's good. I'm glad, like,
mm-hmm.
I would not want you to be back at work, but I think, that whole thing we were talking about, like your expectations and stuff. And so I think, for me, I was expecting like we were going to share all the homeschooling, like it was going to be more of like we did stuff together.
Right.
And I don't feel like we do a whole lot together most days still. And so I don't know. I'm kind of regretful about that. But then at the same time, like you have stuff to do that you're good at. I have stuff to do that I'm good at. And so it does complement each other. But I think in my mind, I was thinking when we did this, everything was going to be 50-50. Like we were going to split everything. I would do these subjects with the kids. You would do these subjects with the kids. And, we would be responsible for other things around here. But like, I mean, the farm is your baby. So,
mm-hmm.
And I enjoy homeschooling. So it's just kind of, I mean, you step in when you can or whatever, but you know what I mean?
I mean, there's still that tension of we have to make a living.
Right.
We're not well off. We don't have tons of money.
Yeah.
So we have to make a living. And so there's that, like, I feel the responsibility of that, providing for my family.
Yeah.
And even though it's not what it was financially, I'm still providing for us financially. So there's that pull. It's not a burden, but it's a pull, to do a good job and sell and market and network and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Make money.
Yeah.
So that does take away from that 50-50 in everything, because sometimes there's things to do and that fly
is really aggravating. So speaking of money, like
I guess just before you move on, I mean, I sort of had that expectation in my mind too going into it.
That's what I thought. That's why like we had talked about that, and I thought that was like kind of what was going to happen, and it really didn't happen. So,
I think, I mean, I do remember that. Like, this is going to be nice. I can just spend half the day inside doing school and helping out and being present, and then the other half will be farming stuff. But it's difficult. It's been, especially July, like the month of July, it's almost impossible.
Yeah.
Like we could probably swing it now. There's not as much going on, harvesting and those kinds of things. But yeah, it's just seasons. There's seasons to life. So
yeah,
that doesn't mean we won't. I mean, I foresee this winter doing some projects, but at the same time, having a little more time.
Yeah.
To do that.
Yeah. I don't know. I keep thinking like, well, winter will be a little bit different, but then we're building a house. Yeah. So for Adam's dad, we're building a house right in our backyard. And so anyways, it just never, like, I haven't seen it slow down yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you think, oh, it'll slow down and we'll do this. But I haven't really seen that. Things change, but I don't know if they necessarily slow down because it's just different. You're responsible for different things during different seasons,
Yeah.
But
I guess for me, I don't really want it to slow down. Well, that's part of the problem, I guess, is I just don't do well with nothing to do. And
I don't think we ever have nothing to do.
Right.
But
right.
But I enjoy things slowing down.
I do too, but it's just like I don't feel productive if I'm not getting something done.
Yeah. Going back to money, because I think that's a big thing for people. That's probably the major holdup for most people is money. Like, would you say, I was thinking about this today, would you say that we're over the past year, we've made half of your income?
Yeah.
That
probably,
you were making?
Probably so.
That's what I was thinking
probably
too.
Close to half, a little more or less, somewhere around that, I would think.
Yeah.
It's just, my view on money has changed. I met with a friend of mine last week, and that was a lot of his questions was about money. And the main thing I told him was that those questions that you have now, because he's looking to leave his job and do the same thing. And it's like those questions that you currently have are never going to go away. You're going to always have those questions about money and how's this going to work out and what are we going to do? If you're an entrepreneur and you're investing, whatever that looks like, then those questions don't go away. So you just have to take the risk.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always about the risk and rewards. I was going to say something else. I don't remember what it was.
It's late for us.
Yeah. I was talking about my view on money has changed.
Yeah.
Working a job with retirement and a salary, you're able to save money and put money back. And so, I mean, it's easy to think like, oh, I'll just make that bigger. I'll just keep adding to my retirement and we'll just have a larger cushion.
Yeah.
But it's never enough. You just keep having to add to that. And so I think my view on money has changed to money is just a tool to buy what we need and also invest, make a decision like we can buy this for this amount and then we can sell it for this at a future date. Whatever that is, so there's investing in that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I just my view of money has changed since leaving my job.
Yeah.
It's not let's make as much as we can and put it into a cushion for a future date. Let's just use the money that we have.
Right.
To live on and to further our interest.
Yeah. And you've always been a big saver. And I think your view about things have changed as far as like, should we hold on to this money or should we should we invest it in something?
Yeah.
But hey, Don, but like you were talking about the other day, that, because when we got married, I was a spender and you were a saver, and you've always been a saver your whole life. Like your dad taught you that, like,
Yeah.
And so two worlds colliding, and I had credit card debt. I spent and spent and spent. I remember one of our first like fights was that our first year, probably our first 6 months, was I was just getting online ordering clothes, and Adam was just like, "What are you doing?" And I'm just like, "Well, I have a credit card to Old Navy or whatever." Yeah. And he was like, "Well, we're gonna get rid of that," like, why do we have that? So yeah, those two worlds were completely different, and so you definitely taught me about saving. Yeah, but I was really resentful about that to start with. But then when we were talking about this the other day, you said we had to be savers at the beginning. Like we didn't have anything to use to do anything with. Yeah. So we had to save at that point. And really that was doing that and getting out of debt is the reason why I was able to start staying at home with our kids. Yeah. And then all of that leading up to, we've been married for 14 years. So being able to, for you to leave your work eventually was a lot about getting out of debt. Yeah. So
definitely. Yeah, it's not possible if you have debt. There's just no way. You got to have that money coming in unless you can take a little bit and set aside and make some smart investments. Yeah. But yeah. Getting out of debt is step one for sure. Yeah, because we went from before marriage being thousands and thousands of dollars in debt. I don't know the amount, but it was quite a bit. Either. Yeah. And we started on that first thing, paying all that off.
Yeah, I can't imagine what things would look like if you were not as tight as you were to start with. Yeah. But I was mad about it.
It was tough. Yeah. It was like, rice and beans and stuff. And like we don't have any money.
Oh man, when I left my job, I was making almost twice what you were making at your job at the time. And just a professional, like, one of those government jobs that I had and everything, good benefits and stuff. And when I left my work, it just didn't make any sense. It really didn't. And we knew it was worth it, but it was like, we don't do anything. We don't go out to eat. Yeah. If a friend says, "Hey, let's go spend some time, let's go bowling." Nope. I'm sorry. We can't do it. Like we couldn't do anything until we got on our feet and got that debt completely paid off, which I think by the time I stayed at home or I came home, we had paid off.
Yeah, it was all gone but the house.
But the house payment, yeah. So, people that ask us, like, how do you do this and stuff, I think, that's really the first thing we tell people is, like, get out of debt.
Yeah, grand picture is get out of debt and have some savings to live on. Our savings, I don't know how long we could have lived. Several years probably. If we're frugal, not that we have a lot of money in savings, but we're just really frugal. Yeah. And we've been using it to, like, not save more money, but just to keep it,
yeah,
make our time at home longer if possible.
Yeah.
Without going to get a job.
And I and I know people who are even more simple with their lifestyle than we are. Yeah. But I feel like we're pretty simple with our lifestyle. So, I have a lot of friends who go get their nails done every couple of weeks, go get their hair done every month, like just buy new clothes all the time, like stuff like that I just don't do. Yeah. Because I know there's, no offense to other ladies, but I know there's women can spend some money and men can too, but on different things, Right. And that's just, pretty much every single purchase that we make has to mean something. Like it has to work for us in some way. You know, it's kind of like we tell the kids, like, we don't bring an animal onto the farm unless it has a job and it's going to, earn its keep. So it's kind of the same thing. Like, we spend money on things that will work for us usually. And
talking about debt too. I mean, we recently took on more debt, but it was because we saw an opportunity to not only pay that off, but also make some money from that. So I think debt's okay if it's used in the right way. Also, you shouldn't be scared of debt. I mean, you should have a
healthy respect.
Yeah. It's kind of like your bull or your ram or something on the farm. Have a
don't be afraid of it. Just be
a healthy fear.
Yeah.
But it's just debt's okay if it's used in the right way. I remember hearing Joel Salatin. Somebody asked him that question one time, and he said basically the same thing. But they had recently taken out something like $100,000 in debt to buy, a set of steers because they had this pasture that they just got a lease on. And it was like, we can take this debt out and buy these steers and run them through the pasture in the summer and sell them in the fall and pay all the debt and make some money. So, it's debt, if used in the right way, is not a bad thing. So. And
it's always a risk, like we were saying. Like, it's always a risk. I mean, that was a risk. What if something happens, to all your cows, whatever, all your steers. But, I feel like we're doing more of that too, just risking, but for a big, return, hopefully. So,
it's just hard when it's all trial and error, it's, and that's what business is. You just got to try stuff. And see what is successful, but the trial and error part can be difficult. And I feel like we've been in trial and error for a while. So that's one thing that concerns me is we've tried all kinds of stuff and we've been successful at some things, but it's like, I don't know, sometimes you just want the one thing that's like you're good at and you can master and, everybody knows this is what you do and you're able to make a living from it. So, I don't know. Maybe we'll never have that. Maybe we'll always just have just several different things that we're doing, which is fine too.
And I think that's smart, like to have multiple streams of income and things that you're good at. But I know what you mean. At the same time, like, you just wish you could just concentrate on this one thing. This is what makes us money and we enjoy it. So let's just do this,
Yeah.
I mean, we did do that with tomatoes this year to a certain extent. Like, that was kind of our thing. We did some other things as well, but that was our main thing. And that's something I wanted to talk about too, was a lot of, I've gotten several messages from people saying, I know you guys make an income from YouTube and doTERRA and Farm Life Outfitters and stuff like that. And I very politely say, no, we don't. Actually, we don't. We make all of our income from the farm, really. Anything that I make with Farm Life Outfitters goes back into Farm Life Outfitters at this point. Hopefully, at some point, we're going to be able to take care of some of our expenses with Farm Life Outfitters income. But at this point, we're just reinvesting it. doTERRA, I don't really do doTERRA much anymore. I mean, I'm still active, but I'm not working on that all the time now. I'm really concentrating on Farm Life Outfitters, growing Farm Life Outfitters and maintaining that brand awareness and everything. And then YouTube, like Don just said, YouTube is small change. For us smaller channels, especially, it does not pay the bills at all.
It's a lot of time too.
It's a lot of time. And that's one reason why this summer, I mean, we've put out one video a month, basically, just because we were earning an income from our farm, and that's where we had to concentrate. And, I think this is what happened last year, where we, in the fall and winter, we were able to concentrate a little more on YouTube, and the revenue does go up once you can invest in it more time in it. But yeah, people think that, just because you're monetized on YouTube, you make an income on YouTube, and it's really, it's very small change, like Don was saying. So, we're thankful for it. It's just another revenue stream. And if we chose to go for it, then maybe it would be a good source of income. But Don, sometimes, yeah.
And I was just going to say too about income and things. It's kind of cool that the farm, and at least produce and the garden, we're working all year on it, but the bulk of the work is only 6 months, and really only like 2 to 3 months. So it is pretty neat that you can make your year income in half the year.
Yeah, whereas the money's actually coming in for this small amount of time. But the preparation for that amount of time is pretty much the whole year.
Yeah, we started seeds in January. So January to August really is like go time for the garden.
Yeah.
But the bulk of the work is June, July, and August for sure, at least in our climate. So it is pretty cool that you can make what you set out to make from produce in just a couple months.
Yeah.
The hard thing about farming is the risk. One, there's tons of risk with weather and stuff. And then planning so far out, because if you have one centerpiece, for us was tomatoes. Tomatoes are done in August, so if you want to do late produce, then you have to plan that in June, in the middle of all the work for the spring garden.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to plan because it's 6 months to 2 years out on farming stuff. So
and like you said, you're having to plan ahead when you're in your busy season. Like that's when you're just like, I don't even have time to eat right now.
Yeah.
Like much less plan for the next season. So, it's challenging. But this is what we do. And
it's just like, there's things that we're hoping to do this winter that had to be planned for in the summer, not only crops or produce, but animals and such. So it's interesting. It just keeps you thinking about stuff. If you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to figure out how to do stuff, then I don't know, I kind of enjoy it.
Yeah, if you have that, work for yourself mindset anyways, then you're constantly thinking of ways to make money or to make this system better or more efficient. And I think that's kind of fun too. I'm the same way. We're both of us, like, we come up with 100 new business ideas a day. So it's like, we have to go on a date so we can talk about all of our ideas that we've had. He just said this a few minutes ago. He's like, we'll talk about it tomorrow night, because tomorrow night's date night. He was like, we'll talk about it tomorrow night, because he's had an idea today that he wants to talk to me about. So
this is the one.
We'll see.
It's funny.
We'll see. But yeah, I think it is smart to do multiple revenue streams if you can. Just because, like Adam was saying, our income comes from the farm. Pretty much our sole income comes from the farm, either the garden or the veggies, or the garden or the animals. But if something were to happen, drought and, disease and all kinds of stuff, like, what are we going to do for money? And so that's one reason why I really started working on Farm Life Outfitters. I've got some new things going, which I'm going to tell y'all about in a few minutes too. But just thinking of different things. YouTube, we're going to pick YouTube back up, a little bit. And it's just kind of one of those, like, put one foot in front of the other. It's not like, I don't feel like we have time to really go full force in one direction unless we know it's going to be 100% successful. Right. We just kind of have to dabble in lots of different things and just continue to work on them. He's told me this 100 times when I've wanted to give up on Farm Life Outfitters just because it wasn't paying our bills. It was, it's paying for itself, but it's not like, it's
just hard when you have goals and you don't meet those goals.
Yeah.
That makes it difficult to continue.
Yeah. And he's always just like, just keep working at it. Like, that's all it's going to take is just keep working at it. Mm-hmm. So I know sometimes the question is, you get to the point where you're just like, when is the point where you're just like, okay, this isn't working. Like we need to stop this, this is just a hobby. But
it's not in the black yet. So if you start losing money, then that's pretty obvious. It's time to quit.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah, for us, it's just about trying different things and continuing to work on them and seeing how successful they are. So that's what we would suggest that other people try and see how it goes. I know it's scary.
It is difficult.
Yeah.
Anytime money's involved, it just messes the whole thing up. It just messes it all up.
Well, I think that too has happened a little bit this year. Not like you still enjoy this, but the pressure of, okay, this thing that I really, really love now is our livelihood. I mean, this is what has to be successful for us to be able to live here, you know? And so that
sucks the joy out of it.
It does. Yeah.
When you're always marketing and you're always, especially with, we're in produce, we're in tomatoes, a perishable product, it's very difficult to see all this product that you have to throw out. So, which didn't happen, fortunately, which was nice.
Yeah.
But it does and can. So you have to figure out ways to turn that waste into another product, like bacon.
Yeah.
But it is hard.
Yeah.
It is hard. Whenever money's involved, it kind of takes the fun out of it sometimes.
Yeah.
Unless you're just making tons of money and not having to work for it or something. Then I could see that not taking the fun out of it.
Yeah. And I think that's one thing that, just being completely transparent with everybody on YouTube, but I think that's one thing that we're really trying to focus more on is creating more of a passive form of income, just not, and passive makes it sound like you don't work at all.
Right.
But setting up systems, setting up things, growing our businesses to the point where, we're not out there, dying of heat stroke for 14 hours every day during the summer, because we have to produce so much food, to be able to make ends meet, and that does, I don't enjoy that. I know there comes a point where you don't enjoy that. That's kind of your thing, but but I think August seems to be the point where we feel exhaustion every year. And it probably is for a lot of people that do this, but
August is tough.
Yeah.
Late July and August is tough.
Yeah. July is like work. And then August is kind of like, I'm really done working. Like you kind of get mad about it.
And
like
it's so hot. It's so hot and sweaty and I'm just tired of it.
You kind of get mad because it's just been months and months of this. And so anyways.
Aren't you glad the days start getting shorter?
Yes. I always have.
It's
even
almost
before
like it was designed that way or something.
Almost like it was. I've loved that for a long time when it got darker earlier so that you would come in the house earlier because, your dad and I were talking about this the other day. It was like 6-7 o'clock at night. And I said, hey, the bull's still here. I thought he was taking the bull back to our friend that we borrowed the bull from. He said he was doing that today. And your dad looked at me. He said, the day is still young for Adam. And I was like, yes, it is. Yeah. This is like 6 or 7 o'clock at night.
Squeeze it all out.
Squeeze every last drop out of every day. That is what you do. Nothing. That's just not me. It is in a different way, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I just like being outside.
I know. So just Sawyer.
Mm-hmm.
He stands at the window all day and just, That's what he says for outside. He's starting to talk a lot more, but he goes,
Yeah.
So there was one more thing I was going to say, and it just completely left me
about me leaving.
Mm-mm.
You ever see me going back to a job?
Mm-mm.
Really?
Mm-mm. That's one thing he said the other day. Something about, I can't believe I haven't had to go get another job. And I'm like, that was never in my mind. Like, that he would have to go back and get a job. Like, we would just figure it out. Like,
yeah. I mean, I did go work part-time a little bit last winter, but that wasn't for the money. That was just for the experience.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I made money. It wasn't that I worked for free.
Right.
It was a good experience.
Yeah. Do you feel like now that we're going into fall and like the bulk, like we were talking about when the money is coming in during the summertime, mm-hmm. Does that make you nervous that we're past the influx of money time? Like, does winter make you nervous about
I think this year
income?
I am a little bit.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know. I guess it's almost like payday. Well, that's what it's like when you're selling produce. Mm-hmm. It's like payday, and then when that stops, it's almost like it might be a year till payday. So there is that feeling like,
mm-hmm.
okay. So it's sometimes I have those thoughts, or like, I don't know. I had a guy helping me do some things the other day, about a month ago, and he said something interesting. I'd never really heard it put this way, I don't think, but he was just like, I could never make any money working for somebody else.
Mm.
I never really heard anybody say that, but it makes sense, because mm-hmm. if you're tied down to your job, it kind of limits you
mm-hmm.
somewhat.
Yeah. Who, like, I know you listen to a lot of podcasts, and people might be interested in, like, who, Patrick Bet-David, is that who you listen to, like, about, like,
like business
stuff.
He has a Valuetainment.
Yeah.
It's his company, and they have a podcast.
As far as like your money mindset and like investing and stuff, has that
maybe
helped you at all?
I think their podcast, which is what I listen to, is more about current events.
Okay.
But yeah, there's mindset built into that. But most of it's about current events and their opinions. But his YouTube channel, which is Valuetainment, he does have some money mindset videos.
Okay. I was just wondering, because you talk to me about stuff sometimes. You're like, I was listening to this guy and blah, blah, blah. And it was, I don't know, that just seems to have kind of helped form how you thought about money now.
Probably so.
But,
that's right about the microbes. They're worth far
more
than anything else.
Yeah.
And that's what, really, that's what I've been investing in the last 6 years, mm-hmm. is the soil, mm-hmm. soil health, and the future of that, providing for our children's children in soil health and wealth, because that's true wealth, mm-hmm. is the soil. Mm-hmm. That's something that it's just like an investment. It just builds and builds and builds, and as long as someone doesn't rob it, it'll just keep building and building and building.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know what I was going to say a while ago. What for people, because I think also another hang up for people is that they're not sure they want to work with their spouse full time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know what advice I have about that, other than, like, you probably both have things that your strengths. You have strengths and weaknesses, and hopefully your spouse doesn't have the same ones
Yeah.
that you, so that you can complement each other. So what do you think about all that? Well, I don't know how to phrase that, but is it hard working with your spouse every day?
Yeah, it's pretty challenging.
Well,
for us, no, I don't think so. I think we work well together.
Yeah.
Communication is always the holdup,
mm-hmm.
but that's anything. So that's something we're always trying to get better at, is communication.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's usually what it boils down to anyway, communication.
Mm-hmm.
Any kind of problems or disagreements, it's just a miscommunication.
Yeah.
You said something that you didn't mean a certain way, and it was taken a certain way, and
mm-hmm.
It's like we should have never even gotten here.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And I don't know. We're believers, so I think if you are, then you should be able to sit down and pray together about any issues that come up. Pray separately and together for anything like that, because if you're wanting to work together full time, you are going to have to be patient, and you are going to have to learn how to speak to each other respectfully, if you are not already, or whatever it is. Like, that is a lot of time together. And there's a lot of people that don't want that. We've always wanted that. I was talking to my friend. I have a podcast with my friend Marie, and we were talking about that the other day, about how different families are. And for us, like, we've always wanted to work together. We've always wanted to do something full time. And it's like, it's hard for me to see it any other way, wanting to work separately.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of families that are like, there is no way we want to work together. That wouldn't work. That would tear us apart. Like just.
Yeah.
And there's no right or wrong, but I see where people are afraid of that. I see how that can be challenging.
Yeah, it just makes you vulnerable. Really vulnerable.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought you were going to say something else. You have anything else you want to say? Any other topics we haven't covered about coming home and working full time here?
I enjoy it. We're such schedulers. One problem, I think I've already mentioned this.
Yeah.
Just like, we're such planners and schedulers. I'm trying real hard to learn that stuff happens and happens, and it's not about me and my schedule. So it's nice to have the freedom and the time to go and help a friend to do, whatever, or to be available to help build my dad a house, whereas if I was leaving for a job, I wouldn't have that time.
That's true.
And just the little lessons with the kids, that you miss out if you're not here. That's huge too. The little small things, the little small lessons that you can just brush over. But when you're here full time, it can be a big deal. The little smallest thing.
Yeah.
Just whatever that you wouldn't even notice if y'all weren't together.
That's true. I think since you've been home, you've really been more intentional about the relationship you have with the kids. You always have been, but I think, since you've been home, you've just been like, if there's a problem, like, it really bothers you, like, you want to get to the, root of it, or like find a solution for it or something like that. Whereas before, I think it's like if there was a problem, you could just brush it off because you didn't have to deal with it all day, every day, or whatever.
Yeah, there's definitely some accountability there. Because stuff happens. People's feelings get hurt, and when you're together all the time, it's not like you can avoid it or get away from it. So let's just stop what we're doing, and if it takes the rest of the day, we're going to figure this out.
Yeah.
And we're going to, make it right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's good. That's been good because those situations you can, gloss over if you're not together.
Yep. Well, I'm going to talk about this if you're done.
Go for it.
Okay. So
it's good stuff.
Thank you, Don. So we have launched something new this week. Speaking of Farm Life Out, you've helped me. You've been my sounding board anyways, and my tech guy because I'm not good at that stuff.
I did try to figure out some coding. Not really.
I did too for 2 hours. Oh my word. Okay. So real quickly. So they said, set this up. And if you know how to code, great. You'll do this. No problem. But if you don't, then we have an expert that can help you. And I'm like, well, I don't really know how to code, but I'm not paying someone to do this. I can figure this out. And so they have step-by-step instructions for it. So I'm going through them. Did not know Adam had already done this as well. I'm going through those instructions and I'm getting real confused and my eyes are watering because I've been staring and and then 2 hours in to this coding setup stuff, I realized that I can't do it. It is not in my wheelhouse to do coding for our website.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh gosh, so how much am I going to have to pay somebody to fix this? And so I go back after 2 hours of my, very valuable time away from my children. I went and checked it out and it said, we will have one of our experts do this for free. And I was like, I wish I would have read that to start with. So anyways, we got it working or they got it working and we assisted. But we have launched a membership community and subscription box with our business. So if you go to farmlifeoutfitters.com, you can click on, to become a member and you can see what all the benefits are. But we have a basic plan and we have a premium plan. So far, everyone that's bought it has bought the premium plan. And most people are paying by the year. Which is what I would do just because
it's the biggest savings.
It's the biggest savings. It saves 20% if you pay by the year. And I like to just pay for something and then not worry about it anymore. It's just like when I pay for the Amazon subscription or anything like that, Canva. I mean, anything I do for business is pretty much by the year because it's a discount. So anyways, but what we're doing, we're really excited about because it is a community. It's going to be a community building thing. We're going to be doing live monthly Zoom chats, me and Adam. So basically just like this, but we'll get to see everyone else's faces that are in our members area. If you want your face shown, at least we can hear each other's voices and talk to each other and just hang out once a month. We are uploading exclusive content in there. So we've done several podcast interviews. I don't know if you guys are subscribed to our podcast, but it's called Hard at Home with Farm Life Outfitters. And we have interviewed some people like Meg Holler from the Holler Homestead, Kate Schatt from Venison for Dinner, Rose Duncan from Wholesome Roots. We just did an interview with the guys Luke and Tommy from Raw Milk and Deadlifts. They were a hoot. And so those interviews, we recorded them via Zoom. So we were able to see each other's faces while we're talking, and we have recorded all of those, and those are going in our members area. So people can see the unedited versions of those interviews where, before we start the actual podcast, we're just going back and forth, just chatting about our days and what's going on. And so it's very informal. I like that. I think it's a neat kind of like behind the scenes thing to offer to everybody to see. Mm-hmm. And then we also are offering a 20% discount to our shop for as long as you are a member. And so.
Do you think you'll ever bump that up, I guess? Like,
I don't know.
Sometimes you run sales and stuff.
Yeah.
Holidays and things.
Yeah.
I guess that's, you can do whatever you want to. It's your membership.
Yeah.
But, I guess there's that possibility.
Yeah, there's a possibility.
A larger discount.
Or like a members only free gift or something like that with your purchase or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. Stuff like that. So yeah, members are going to get treated really well as far as with the shopping experience. So I'm excited about that. And speaking of that, because I think all of our members that have signed up so far this week are customers of ours. And so with our membership, we're offering a subscription box. And as far as I know, there's not any like other homestead apparel businesses that do this. So I'm really excited that we're able to provide that for the community. And we're going to create, I already know what I'm doing for our first box. I'm excited about it. We're going to create apparel to go out in the mail to you guys as members that is exclusive to you. So it's not going to be one of our butter makes everything better shirts just like this one. It's going to be either an entirely new design that nobody's ever seen before, or it's going to be one of our classic designs on a whole different product that's not available for other people to purchase online. So it's just going to be for members. People online aren't going to get to purchase it after the members get it or anything like that. It is like just for members only. So I'm excited that we're going to be able to do that for people. And
that's a quarterly.
It's quarterly.
Quarterly shipment.
Yeah. Quarterly mailing.
Quarterly.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So
wow, that's worth a lot there.
I know.
More than half of the cost.
Yeah.
Is that?
Yeah. People who are already buying stuff from us are like super excited, I think, to be able to get something that's just for them and that it just gets mailed to them and they don't have to worry about picking it out or anything. I already have, we ask for sizes and addresses and everything when you become a member.
Yeah.
Close friends on Instagram. If you become a member, you're going to be one of our close friends on Instagram. So we get to do exclusive content just for you on Instagram that nobody else can see who's following us. So that's kind of neat. I know Kate, Venison for Dinner, she does that for her members, and I'm in her membership, and I get to see all the funny things that she does that's just for members only. So that's neat. We also have created a Discord server, which is a private chat room for our members. And we have all different kinds of topics to talk about in there. We've got gardening and parenting and marriage and faith and, introduce yourself and recipes and all kinds of stuff in there. So it's going to be really fun to get together in there and just kind of chat and get to know each other better. And then the last big thing for our membership is that we're inviting everyone to our farm next year for a big hangout. So that's going to be really fun. Yeah.
It'll be in the fall, November-ish.
You think so? Are you asking me?
Yeah.
I was thinking we would do it in the spring or before, like,
okay.
March.
I see.
March, April, probably.
Gotcha.
But I don't know. We'll see. We just want to be able to get together with everybody in person and all the people that we're getting to know online, be able to meet them in person and, show them around the farm and stuff like that. So also, I forgot to say the exclusive content that we're adding to the membership we're going to continue adding to it. So it's not just our podcast interviews. We're going to add to it every month. This month we're teaching a milk cow class, and we're going to be filming that and putting that into the exclusive content, the members only content. And then anything that I feel like anything that we do around here that we get questions about anyways, we're going to be filming it, and not just for YouTube. Like, we're going to film it just for our members and put it in there, like preparing the soil for the garden, and
maybe you can do a
growing tomatoes.
Revised chicken dumplings video.
I need to. Oh man.
Members only chicken dumplings video.
Okay, so I have to tell y'all that our most popular video on YouTube that we've ever done is my chicken dumplings video. I have no idea how many people have seen it at this point, but it was, if we had a viral video, it was, that was our viral video. I mean, I'll have to go check it out after this. I don't have my phone with me, but I mean, tens of thousands of views on that one anyways. And
nobody likes it.
It was the worst video we have ever done. And people let me know. I mean, like, they're like, I feel cheated that I came to this video and this is a crappy video. And I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, it was one of the first videos we did, and it was horrible. And I left out one step. Everyone that watches the video lets me know I left it out. Even though I put it in the description what you're supposed to do. I apologize that I left it out, and I still get like just
hate mail.
Yes, people hate me because of that video. Anyway, so that's why he's saying I need to do a revised version of that and put it in our members area. I might do that just to redeem myself a little bit. But anyways, if you need a good laugh, you can go check that video out because it's horrible, really horrible. So anyways, we're excited. I can probably do it now. I'm just going to put it in the chat, the link to our members sign up, just so you can go check it out if you want to. And I hope this is right. Should have done a bit link. I think that's right. Do you think that's right?
I don't know.
I think that's right. I think that's right. Okay. But if it's not right, you can just go to farmlifeoutfitters.com and you will be able to see it. It's all up on there. So
you have something on the main page.
Mm-hmm.
And sign up is this week only, right?
This week only. I forgot to say that. Yeah, it ends on Monday. So we're not going to open membership up again for several months. So if you don't get in this week, then you have to wait several months. So we would love to have you guys over there. We love our YouTube fam. Aside from all the hate mail I get about the chicken dumplings video, we have some really, really kind people who support us and say really nice things to us online. So we really appreciate you guys because Jason and Lorraine, if they're still on here, they know how ugly it can get out there. So, but thank you guys for being here. Thank you, Jason, for moderating for us tonight, and for everyone else who has tuned in and given us a thumbs up and watched and everything. It was nice chatting with you guys. Let us know if you have any questions or comments. I know we went over a lot about, what we're doing and financials and all that kind of stuff. And, we want to be able to help support anybody who feels a conviction or calling to do the same thing, because it's happening a lot right now. And, and it's serious. Like, I think you should take that seriously. So, Anything else?
Just do it.
Just do it. Just do it. Yes, we've got to hang out soon. Hi, Maggie. Yes, Jason and Lorraine, we do have to hang out soon.
I know, they're in the mountains. I love the mountains.
I know. I like the mountains too. I'm much more of a beach person, but I like the mountains too. We do have to hang out soon. All right. we are right at an hour, so we'll call it a night. And I need to go to sleep. Thank you guys for being here. We will talk to you later.
Have a good night.
Bye.